Good afternoon, and I'm delighted to be here and listen to all the speakers this morning. And I suppose just to give you a little introduction, I work for Cork Education and Training Board, and my role is Further Education and Training Area Coordinator. I worked previously in North Cork, and now I'm in the city. When I worked in North Cork, we were the first town to welcome the Syrian refugees as part of the Refugee Resettlement Project, and Joan, my colleague down here, would have been involved in that as well. And I suppose this project grew out of some of the learnings that we had. The resettlement project was very structured, and our part of it was around education, which was very much English language based. So giving people their skills in their English language, and it was very structured, and 4 days a week of English classes. I suppose what we quickly learned is that people, you know, they had kind of landed in Ireland, they had amazing skills, businesses, lives, you know, they were studying, they were working, and suddenly they were landed into an English class 5 days a week, 4 days a week. And you know, they'd been through a lot of trauma, and we realised they weren't quite ready maybe to be in that position. So when the opportunity came up to apply for funding under the Asylum Migration Integration Fund, we put together this project, which is called Growing Conversations. Basically the project is set in beautiful grounds here in the city in Ennismore, which is kind of healing for people in itself. It's a lovely place to visit and to learn. You know, the environment where you learn is very important as well for people. And many of the students and participants, some of them are in direct provision, some of them are in shared accommodation. So it's lovely to have a place to study that can offer you such beautiful grounds and that. So the project is based in the area of horticulture and gardening, essentially, but it has evolved, as I'll explain there, thanks, if you can. So the idea was that the participants, both Irish and from all different nationalities, up to 50 nationalities have taken part in this project. So they work side by side in the polytunnels and various sections of the garden. And so they're studying horticulture, and then we also provide English classes on site. So they might spend the first half of the morning in the garden working side by side, and then those who want to avail of English classes will come in and they will do their English classes. We have various levels of English as well, which is another learning that we had from the refugee project, is that some people will progress quite quickly and acquire the language very quickly and need to move on, and others will maybe struggle a bit more and need to be in the beginners class for, you know, an extended period of time. So there's a full range of levels available in this project. So we can fast track the people who want to, who are progressing well and maybe want to sit their IELTS exam and apply to higher education or look for, employment or whatever. Again, the project evolved. People wanted other things like IT skills and maths, so we've also made those classes available to people attending the centre. And there was a fully equipped kitchen there, so we decided to include cookery classes. So it's kind of a farm to fork model. So the students attend cookery classes on site. They've made different produce from what they're growing in the garden and what they've harvested. And I suppose the plan was pre-COVID that we were going to attend a range of farmers markets and different events. That has been somewhat impinged on, but it is now happening in the next few weeks. Many students who attended the programme will say have started up maybe mini businesses from it, and we had a girl who really flourished in the cookery side of it, and she's doing cakes and set up her Facebook page and things like that. But again, I suppose, as Aline mentioned, and also Tony mentioned, the funding, short-term funding, we need a longer-term view, because often with these projects, it's as the project evolves, you realise what people need, and you need to be able to change a project to include different things, or maybe remove parts of it that aren't as successful. And we're in a lucky position, I suppose, that Cork ETB are going to take up the funding now that the AMIF funding has finished. But for many projects that doesn't happen, and they're just, you know, they're not developed to their full potential, I guess, because of time constraints. Again, I suppose because of the backing of the Cork ETB, the project has additional benefits. There's adult guidance and counselling services available to all the participants, and it's free, and they'll come and meet them on site and help them, be it making applications or finding further pathways in it, either in education or business, or whichever path people choose to take. We also have adult literacy and numeracy support built into the project. It's available on site for anybody who needs it. And because we have free transport, now this is a huge part of the success, because it's a huge barrier for people, the cost of transport to access education, and it is a really significant barrier. Whereas when transport is provided, it opens up access hugely for people. I suppose some of the challenges of the project, the application process was fairly detailed, and again, you're trying to preempt what's going to happen in the future when you submit your plan, and yet you don't know, because the program evolves and what people need changes. The linking of needs with any program, I think, and especially when people have come from a traumatic situation, there's a period of social adjustment needed, and I think it has to be built into the project. And I suppose by working together, there's a lot of camaraderie, and people get to know each other. The sole focus wasn't on education in itself at the beginning. It's part of it, but it's not the sole focus of the project. And childcare and transport. Now, and this project, transport is looked after, but there are many great projects running that people have difficulty accessing. Childcare, especially for those with very young children under the age of 2, especially, they're very limited really in what they can access. I suppose it was the challenge around adult literacy, numeracy and digital literacy, and access to digital resources. Again, there was funding through the MAEDF where we were able to buy technology, and we have laptops on loan, and people were even able to get work in call centres and online because they had access to resources. But again, that's very project specific. It's not available kind of to every participant. COVID-19 was a big challenge, and the students worked very well. We sent them out seeds and equipment, and they did horticulture classes online, and it was it kept the project ticking along as best we could. They did English classes online, and I suppose one of the advantages of it was that children and the whole family could nearly join in the class because it was online. Just trying to think now. I think one of the main successes of the programme is that it's bottom-up learning, and I think that's hugely important, and it's led by the participants of the programme what they need, and that we're able to listen and adapt to what different participants may need. I have that one, sorry. So as part of the project then, just to stimulate creativity, we commissioned an artist to come, and all the participants in the project contributed to, she worked with them, consulted with them, they all submitted different aspects of the design, and this is a huge piece, so just a photo of it here, and you will see all, I don't know, 48, up to 50 countries around the outside there, and they're all our participants. And I think programs like this, it would be lovely to see similar programs rolled out across the country. Yes. So that's my presentation.